A lot of the research that we do is in the lab, so it's at small scale, and we're trying to understand the mechanism of what's going on. And then on the other hand, a lot of us do work in the field, and the field is extremely complicated and we have very little control over it, and it's very hard to replicate it. So you have these two extremes of science. And the goal with the EcoPODs is to try and bridge that gap, but do it in a very controlled way. So we can try and connect the science that we do both in the field and in the lab.
The EcoPOD basically consists of an atmospheric part and a soil unit. The atmospheric part is where your lights and your irrigation sit. It has above ground sensors for humidity and temperature. In the soil part, you have currently 4 cylinders sitting on scales. In the soil, we have sensors for various things. All of that data goes into a data integration system and is collected continuously at a frequency that you can determine.
Before I moved to Berkeley Lab and started working on DOE projects, I was very interested in kind of really mechanistic science and really thinking about the details and not necessarily about the application. And then the more I worked here, the more I understood that I might engineer a bioenergy crop, and then we put it in the field and we might see a phenotype that's completely different to what we saw in the greenhouse. And we didn't really have the tools to understand why that was. But this allows us to experience that and then try and work out exactly why. Because the more we can understand the system, the more we can be predictable about engineering our crops for the future.
One of the projects I have the great pleasure of leading is called the MCAFE's SFA project. It is doing many things, but one of which is developing critical new genetic tools that will allow us to test the function of a microbe or a gene or a metabolite directly within a microbial community. And we're focused on studying the microbes that live around plant roots. And so these fabricated ecosystems are absolutely essential to us because we're able to have laboratory conditions where we can develop these technologies and understand how they work. It really wouldn't be possible for us to go and use natural ecosystems for this. Because we can do this, we will be able to rapidly take our findings from the laboratory and eventually put them into practice in the natural ecosystems, for example, in bioenergy fields.
The EcoPOD presents a unique opportunity to conduct research in a controlled and reproducible way that previously was impossible. It allows us to include the complexity as we would find it in the real world, but conduct experiments the exact same way, maybe changing one parameter the next time round. And so if you can tightly control every single parameter, we can systematically inquire the major drivers that can impact plant health and lead to increased biofuel crop production